The crystal chandelier light caught on my mother's diamond earrings as she whispered through clenched teeth, "Be still, Sophia. Important people are watching." Her manicured nails dug into my wrist like warning flags. Around us, the charity gala glittered. Old money, new money, and the kind that pretended it had always existed. I wore the only evening gown I owned. Midnight blue, understated, the sort of dress staff slip into when they want to disappear. My father, already 3 scotches in, leaned across the starched white tablecloth toward a venture capital titan and laughed too loudly. "Forgive my younger daughter," he said, gesturing at me with his glass. "Sophia's still finding herself. My son, Nicholas, he's the one carrying the family name forward." The table chuckled on cue. My brother smirked, adjusting his custom cufflinks that probably cost more than my car. I smiled the way I'd been taught. Small, polite, invisible. Inside, something cracked a little wider than last time. But tonight wasn't about surviving another dinner. Tonight was mine. For 8 months I had worked in the shadows with the gala's secret committee, building the Aurora Project, an AI-driven platform that quietly redirected corporate excess into climate repair. No one here knew my last name matched the one on the donor wall. Not even my family. The MC took the stage. My father straightened, certain his golf buddy was about to be announced as keynote. Instead, the lights dropped to a hush, and an enormous screen flared to life with my face, professional, unsmiling, powerful. "Ladies and gentlemen," the MC's voice rang out, "please welcome the architect of the Aurora Project, the mind that has already channeled $12 million into reforestation and clean water grids this year alone, Miss Sophia Vale." The applause detonated. 500 chairs scraped backward as people rose. Phones flashed like paparazzi lightning. My mother's champagne flute froze halfway to her lips. My father's mouth opened, closed, opened again. Nothing came out. Nicholas looked like someone had unplugged him. I stood. The walk to the podium felt longer than the 8 months of midnight coding sessions, longer than every "you're the spare" conversation I'd swallowed since childhood. When I reached the microphone, the room quieted to a breath-held silence. "Good evening," I began, voice steady even though my pulse was a war drum. I was raised to believe a woman's job at events like this was to sit quietly and look decorative. A ripple of knowing laughter. Tonight I'm grateful to prove that lesson obsolete. More applause, warmer this time. I let it wash over me, then glanced at my family's table. My father's knuckles were white around his linen napkin so tightly I thought it might tear. Nicholas stared at his plate as if it had personally betrayed him. I spoke for 12 minutes, about drowning coastlines, about algorithms that shame wasteful corporations into generosity, about what happens when the quiet daughter stops asking for permission. When I finished, the standing ovation number 2 thundered through the ballroom. On my way back, the venture capital titan intercepted me. "You're Alexander Vale's daughter?" he asked, stunned. "Biologically, yes," I said. "Still waiting to see if he claims the title tonight." The man barked a laugh. He'd be insane not to. That was extraordinary. I reached our table. Silence fell like a guillotine. My mother tried first, voice thin and bright. "Well, that was unexpected, darling." Nicholas muttered, "You could have given us a heads up." I took my seat slowly. "You could have asked what I do with my life." My father finally spoke, low and dangerous. "This wasn't your stage, Sophia. You humiliated me in front of everyone who matters." I met his eyes, really met them for the first time in years.
"No, Dad.
You humiliated yourself the moment you introduced me as the daughter you need to apologize for." A nearby table went dead quiet. Even the string quartet seemed to miss a note. My father's face drained of color. He looked suddenly small inside his $10,000 tuxedo. Then the gala director appeared, beaming. "Miss Vale, CNN and Bloomberg are begging for 5 minutes. They're calling you the surprise powerhouse of the decade." I stood again. This time no one tried to stop me. As I walked away, the applause started once more, spontaneous, fierce, unstoppable, and for the first time in my life, it was all for me. Behind me, my father still hadn't moved. The sound of 500 people cheering his forgotten daughter rolled on without him.